Poducer.
Dude, I always got the dogs.
You got your feet out.
Dude, you gotta.
Dude, I have so many foot memes on my phone.
Really?
Yeah, just like.
Are you a foot guy?
No, I just think it's really funny that like people are feet people. Because like feet gross me out personally.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't like my dogs?
Dude, I think your dogs are wonderful, but
they're kind of flat.
I have really high arches.
Really?
Yeah, I have to wear like special shoes.
That's just like.
Yeah, my dad fucked me with like really bad.
It's the dad side.
Yeah.
Damn, I'm sorry to hear that.
It is what it is.
Flat feet, there's like really like a perfect area where you just have like a little arch and it's nice.
Yeah.
You're good to go.
Get that aerodynamic foot.
yeah, exactly. Ryan, do I look in focus?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, cool. I'm like, just make yourself comfortable.
I know.
However that may be. Just like not on your head.
Damn.
Damn, dude, I was going to pull that one out. Welcome to the show. Welcome to Poducer. It's the podcast for producers. I don't always say that, but I think I should for people who don't know what this is. If you could just intro yourself real quick so people know who you are.
I am twosoft, aka threescore. I have multiple different aliases over the course of my music career. I make experimental electronic music primarily. I also make bounce music and whatever I feel like making. So.
Nice. All right, well, we got to do the obligatory question, which is, what was your first concert?
Oh, dude, I was so excited for this question.
Did you think about it?
Yes. So I have a real answer and then what I consider is my first concert. So the real answer is my first concert was a Kidz Bop concert.
What?
Yeah, dude. So my mom, like driving when I was a kid, would always play the Kidz Bop CDs.
Yeah, with like, the kids singing.
Exactly. And so
did you like them?
I ate that shit up as a kid. Okay. And so because of that, my parents thought it would be very sweet of them, thought it would be a good idea to bring me to a Kidz Bop concert. And that was my first real, it wasn't a real concert. I mean, you get what I'm saying. That was my first like live music experience.
But there were like kids on stage singing the songs. And it was, where was it?
I think it was in Chicago. As a child, I remember it being a big stadium. I almost wanted to say it was at the United Center.
Could have been a Chuck E. Cheese.
But yeah, it could have been,
Your sense of like space is not good as a child.
No, it's really not.
I remember looking up at my mom, like doing stuff on the counter. And I was like, one day I'll be tall.
That knife is ginormous.
Yeah, everything was like that as a kid.
And then my real first concert was when I was 18 and I went and saw Childish Gambino live.
Oh, nice.
And that was really cool.
Where was that?
That was at the United Center.
Oh, okay. So this is like Glover is like in his element.
Yeah.
Like you gotta have is this like Redbone era?
It was like 6 months after that album released. And he's by far like one of my favorite rap artists. And so it was really cool to get to go see him. And I actually had front row tickets.
Oh, wow.
At the beginning of the concert, he walked down the middle strip of the stage, and I actually got to dap him up, which was pretty sick. That was awesome.
Glad we paid that extra money.
Yeah, the extra $300 to be 4 rows up was really worth it.
Yeah. So Kidz Bop. I feel like as a kid, I even was like, it's not as good as the original. Or maybe I was like a preteen and I was like, yeah, what is this?
Yeah, I mean, I was probably like 8 when I went and saw it. So
So your vocal register was like similar to these kids.
yeah, exactly. And also I didn't really become like music pilled until I was like 12. So like I really didn't have a sense of taste yet.
Is Kidz Bop still around?
I think they are.
Really?
Yes, because I was in Target like 2 weeks ago and I saw a Kidz Bop CD.
Dang.
But it was also in Indiana, so I don't know if that Kidz Bop CD is like 10 years old or if it's like
If it's just like still selling well or something. Yeah.
Yeah, or if it's like a Jack Harlow song that they turned into like a Kidz Bop version.
That's so interesting. I feel like being like on the Kidz Bop CD is almost like Mickey Mouse Club level, but like of course it doesn't have that Disney backing, so it's not like as cool, but like you're definitely a part of a crew.
Yeah,
I
would, if I get famous enough to the point where someone
Kidz Bops your song.
Yeah, exactly. Someone makes a Kidz Bop cover of my song, I'd be honored.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I'd be honored. I'd also be a little disappointed, but I'd
listen to the original.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
you probably get a payout though.
Oh, for sure. They definitely pay for clearance on all their stuff.
They have to, but it's just like I wonder how much you get. Probably decent.
You probably
get decent.
Yeah, it's probably a split, like a small split, and then like an upfront payment as well.
Yeah,
probably 5.
Wow, Kidz Bop. I'm really like feeling nostalgic right now.
Yeah,
because it would come on as like an ad, or I remember like someone. Like we were going to like soccer practice and someone had the Kidz Bop and I was kind of just like, what is this?
Yeah, Kidz Bop is a phenomenon that I feel like a lot of musicians just don't talk about.
Well, and like I'm like the youngest in my family. Yeah. So my brother was just listening to like rap, like explicit rap. And I was just like, this is cool.
Yeah.
I'd go to like Dax's house. Ryan knows Dax, and like there's Sicilian Italian and just letting all the words fly out.
Yeah.
And I was like, like I'm hardened. Like I know how to swear. I don't know. Basically what I'm saying is Kidz Bop was soft to me. But maybe it was basically how you came up with your name, twosoft.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, if we're gonna reel this in.
Entirely inspired by Kidz Bop.
Yeah,
100%.
Let's do like a real origin story real quick.
Yeah.
Which is just, when did you start producing? Maybe like some other aliases. We don't have to go too deep into it, but just kind of like what was the start of I want to make music?
Yeah, so originally I started getting interested in music when I was like, to clarify to the public, I'm going to be 23 in 2 weeks, so I'm still pretty young. Yeah, but I got interested in just music in general when I was like around 12, 13. Not necessarily making it, but like really forming my tastes, Some of the key artists I really got into were like, like Skrillex and like Flux Pavilion and like all the like dubstep people, right?
Yeah.
And then when I was 14, I downloaded FL Studio and started like fucking around in FL Studio. Never really posted it, never posted anything, just kind of like learning the program. And then when I was 16, I was playing sports in high school, and I found out that I had like a heart situation going on. And because of that, I had to quit like all my extracurriculars because I couldn't do contact sports. And that included like football and like all that. So when I quit it, I was like, shit, I better like do something with all this extra.
Was it like your parents were like, well, you got to do something still?
Yeah, it was kind of that. My parents never really pressured me to like join or do anything. Football was definitely not pushed by my dad, but like heavily suggested, just because he was a pretty prominent football player, like in high school. He won state multiple times and like that kind of thing. So he wanted what he had for me, which I understand. But because of that whole health thing, I was just like more of my own volition. I was like, shit, I got to do something. So I'd been messing around with music and whatever, and I decided to start posting music. And so I think the first stuff I ever posted was like really shitty house songs. And I was like, this is too hard for where I'm at right now. This is like too difficult for where, because it's like composition and all that. I had no music background, never played an instrument. So I started releasing music under the name Finn, but just Fin. And that was my name now. My actual name is Finn, spelled with 2 N's. But the reason I did the 1 N is it was kind of a play on words, because it was kind of like represented the end of like how my life was before and signified like how my life would be now. And so I switched to lo-fi hip hop, because I had also like throughout high school gotten very interested in like hip hop music, especially like MF Doom, Madlib, all that. And I started making lo-fi, and I did that for 3 years. And some of my songs really hit it off. I had like a bunch of songs that got like above 50K, which was sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially as a high schooler, that's like holy shit, you know. And then I wanted to, towards the end of those 3 years, I started playing with like how far can you push lo-fi with it still being considered lo-fi and not like electronic music. And so I really tried to like fuck with it, you know. And eventually I was just like, why am I sticking to lo-fi? Like why don't I just like dedicate entirely to electronic music? And that's when I changed my name, because as you can imagine, Finn is really hard to find on Spotify. And like, because not only is it other people named Finn and whatever, it's also any name with FIN in it.
Griffin or something.
Anything. Any artist name with FIN or song shows above it. So it made like SEO super difficult for me. And I think that's kind of attributed to like part of the reason why I didn't grow as much as I should have. So I switched my name to twosoft, because growing up I was never like, I've never been like a man's man, like, and whatever.
Macho guy.
Yeah.
I mean, you played football.
Yeah, but I mean, people on the team call me pussy and like all that shit. And
that's not a good team then.
No, it's not. But I mean, that's suburban Indiana for you. But
fair enough.
But yeah, so I kind of owned it. You know, people would always call me too soft and whatever. Too soft, not not like hard enough, all that kind of shit. So
like you're too soft.
Yeah. So
really?
So I changed my name to twosoft. The 2 is spelled TWO, signifying my second alias. And then soft is whatever.
Yeah.
So, and then I've been doing that stuff now for I think since 2019.
Gotcha.
So, and then threescore is a new thing. It was just kind of like, I haven't posted music in 2 years on the twosoft account. And it was because I wanted to work on myself as an artist and really like hone in my sound and my skills, which now I think I have. But threescore was originally just like a side account for me to just like post stuff that I'm working on.
Yeah.
And it eventually, I got really interested in like bounce music. And which is like the genre of music that like Dillip, Allswell.
Okay, yeah. Those like heavy bass lines with like gliding,
with like
glides basically,
with like rhythmic melodies. It's like a fusion between hip hop and electronic, in a way where it's like,
but it's not. It's like trap, but
but it's
different.
Yeah, it's like what Vince does, like Vince by Vince.
Yeah.
And Palpa has started getting into it too. But yeah, I got really like fixated on that genre, and threescore kind of turned into that. So now I do both at the same time.
Gotcha. This is just something that happened today, but someone commented on fucking, which video was it? Wow, I can't remember. Oh yeah, Going Somewhere's video. Yeah. And the start of the video starts out like, are lo-fi people just wise? And the guy was like, oh, like when did we change, calling like hip hop beats lo-fi and not just instrumentals? Do you ever think about like lo-fi and how it's like spread past being lo-fi, that people don't really know what lo-fi is, and that it's like any just beat without a vocal that's like chill is a lo-fi track. You ever thought about that?
Dude, I could talk about this shit for hours.
Yeah.
So please cut me off if I start ranting. But the way I look at it, as you know, a person that did lo-fi for however many years and whatever, is like lo-fi is inherently low fidelity. The reason lo-fi hip hop got its name is because most of the songs are sample based, and typically they're older samples, you know, so they're not going to have the fidelity that modern music has. For people that don't know, fidelity is like quality of sound. Quality advances with the advancement of technology. So lo-fi to me is a lower tempo hip hop song with lower fidelity samples. The drums can be higher fidelity because you're adding them on top, but the something has to be lower fidelity.
Yeah.
And I think lo-fi kind of got bastardized in 2016 with like the rise of shit
like lo-fi girl, chilled cow.
Yes.
Yeah, because like things that weren't necessarily lo-fi. I mean, although when I listen to those channels, I feel like it is kind of lo-fi, but then it also became the primary genre of like YouTube videos that are like tutorials, because it's just such a good backing.
Yeah, it's great backing music.
It's either that or like future bass. It's like,
Yeah.
all right, guys, today I'm going to show you this tutorial. It's like, and you're just like, okay, cool. Like that was the intro.
Yeah.
And whatever. I mean, I haven't dug into like the libraries of YouTube, but it feels like predominantly you got those two genres.
Yeah, and I feel like now, because of the popularization of like lo-fi girl and chilled cow and whatever, and how popular it is to people that don't make music, it kind of
they're just like everything's lo-fi that's hip hop, basically.
Exactly. Yeah. Everything that's instrumental hip hop is lo-fi because that's all I know.
Right.
And so I think because of that, you know, the masses are what give things definitions, right? So the definition of lo-fi shifted from what it used to be.
Yeah. I feel you.
So I think it's part of the reason why I don't make lo-fi anymore, because the stuff I made was lo-fi. It was, you know, it was hip hop drums, sample based, like all that.
Yeah, we were talking to Amoide, and he was saying how like he doesn't like the term because it's like I want this stuff to like go off.
Yeah.
Like I want this to be for like the club or like more dancey, but then he just gets relegated to like lo-fi sometimes. So like I feel like as someone who produces adjacent genres, it's like that thing where you got to, you know, be like, no, that's not it. Like you have to correct people almost.
Yeah, and I want people to listen to my music as a song. I don't want people to passively listen to my music. And so I don't want, you know, lo-fi is inherently listened to passively. And so I don't want my stuff to forever be considered passive music. I want people to like listen and pay attention. And
that's
like,
what he was saying too. Yeah, like for sure. That makes sense. Yeah, I don't know. It's just something that came up today that I was thinking about, and I would say I got a pretty good ear for like what is lo-fi and what is not, but it is real that some people are just like, oh yeah, like lo-fi beats and chill, like stuff like that. And it's just like, that's not, I mean, but at the same time, this is, you know, a podcast for producers. So like we can have all these niche things and people will understand. But I guess if someone was watching this that isn't aware of all these genres, then it's like, okay. At the end of the day too, like genres are kind of, we've done this conversation too, where it's like, why try to slot things into genres, but it just helps, you know, to be able to talk about them and have names for them. So
that's why I just say I'm an experimental electronic music
I know,
artist.
but I tell people that and they're just like, so I have no idea what you make. And I'm just like, yeah, it's like hip hop. I don't know.
Yeah, because I don't like being tied. I want to make like whatever I feel like making. I don't want to be tied to like, you know, just trap beats and just bounce music and just, you know, like, so that's why I just, experimental's wide enough to where you can just kind of make whatever and say it's you know, like.
Exactly.
So.
That makes sense. Well, why don't we run a twosoft track?
Sick.
If we're going to go in the logical progression, I guess. Which track would you like to run?
Let's run, are we going to do both?
We can.
Got you. Then let's actually run Pacifist first, because that's not going to get released for a minute. So I want to.
Okay. And if you want to hear the music in this episode and what we have to say about it, join the Poducer Discord through the link below.
I wanted to make something that like was still hard, but also pretty at the same time. I really like making stuff that kind of contradicts the combining two contradictory ideas and making them
like the dichotomy, the juxtaposition of it. Yeah, no, I definitely like that too. What was the idea for like to me it sounded like you're in the main menu and you're like selecting the drop or something. Is that kind of the idea?
Yeah, it was kind of the idea. My idea was like because most of my songs I make while I'm making the song, and this might sound weird, but I picture a visual to go with the song while I'm making it.
I'm the same way, yeah.
Yeah, so like my whole thing was like it starts with the train and whatever, and you're kind of like getting on a train, whatever, going home, sit down, go to play video games, start it up, and it goes into kind of like an old like Y2K video game visual for the drop, where it'd be like fucking like Jet Set Radio style, like all that, and then it pans out. The whole idea for a video was just kind of like chilling at home, like not really doing anything, not some like high stakes video on top of a fucking mountain, like
but like an everyday situation where you're riding the train and you just can like zone out into your own world of playing video games.
Exactly.
Or like something like we used to do is like, I actually don't really take public transportation that much anymore, but like like I had a buddy that was, bring his like Nintendo Switch. I'm like, bro, you're going to get that shit stolen in Chicago. But like, I mean, it's a great way to kill time. Yeah. So like, there's a lot of people that would probably relate to that. Like, oh yeah, I do the same shit.
Yeah. I want to put some of my life into my music. Right. So like, that was kind of my idea. That's what I do when I'm home. I sit and fucking play Yu-Gi-Oh all day.
Do you? Do you play the video game of Yu-Gi-Oh?
I play Master Duel. So if anybody knows what Master Duel is, please hit me up. I have no one to play with. But it's basically the TCG in video game form made by Konami, who makes Yu-Gi-Oh.
It's the card game.
Yeah. Sorry, TCG means trading card game.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I'll sit and play that for like 4 hours every day.
Dude, I used to have a Yu-Gi-Oh game for the Game Boy Advance.
Oh, which one?
I don't remember what it was, but I remember there was like, I didn't follow Yu-Gi-Oh that much, but like the show, but I felt like the trading card game was the one I got into the most over Pokemon. Like I played the game of Pokemon more, but the actual like, you duel and it would be all card based. But I remember there was this thing where like if you had the cards, there was a number on the bottom of them and you could like enter in the number, and depending on if the card was in the video game, you could just then have that card and it'd be part of your deck. So I was like scouring Google back in the day, and Google was so shitty back in the day too.
Oh yeah.
So I'd be like looking at like these blurry numbers to try to like get new cards, like epic cards, and be like, yeah, it's not in the video game.
Yeah, now it's all like virtual currency, and they don't do the scan thing. If they did the scan thing, it'd be over. Did
you play one of those, or that was like?
Yes, I played Yu-Gi-Oh Championship 2011, which is the story of Yu-Gi-Oh 5Ds on the DS. And I played that game.
This one was purely card games. I remember I did something stupid. I like traded my friend for this different Yu-Gi-Oh game that I thought was even cooler, and then you could like walk around a map like Pokemon. I was like, oh yeah, that's what I want. And then I got the game. I was like, we traded games, so I was like, yeah, you're gonna get this one. And then I realized that the one that I had was way better, and I was like, fuck, this game sucks.
Yeah, Konami does not have the best score for video
consistency.
Games. Yeah, it's like it's a coin flip whether the game's good or not.
Yeah, dude, it was fun though. It was just dueling and like, yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh's cool.
Yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh and Pokemon are like my two IPs that like all invest so much money and time into them.
I'd love to get into Magic, but it's such a wormhole that I'm like, I can't.
I would say I think both are really hard to get into if you're not like, if you don't play like trading card games. I would say Yu-Gi-Oh is probably easier to get into than Magic.
I think Magic's just been around for so long. And there's so many cards.
And there's like 6 different formats that you can play.
Yeah, there's like Commander and whatever. One of my friends got really into it, and he was like into it, but then later he was like, bro, I had to stop. It was too much.
And Magic cards are like, if you want to buy like single cards to like add to your deck, because that's usually what people do. They go on websites and buy like singles.
Yeah.
Excuse me, I have to burp. Okay, cool.
Get it out.
Get it out. Yeah, I didn't want to burp into the mic.
That's cool.
But no, yeah, like Magic cards, like some of them will be like $400.
They're expensive.
Yeah.
We were just talking about how Post Malone bought that like $2 million
insane.
one ring to rule it all. Because that could go down as like it could get way more expensive.
Oh yeah.
So for someone like Post Malone to buy it and it to be $2 million, it's like, man, it's not that bad for him.
It's one of those situations where you can put any price that you want on it because it's a one-of-a-kind card that you can just like, he could sell it for $20 million, or if someone buys it, it's like that's the new price.
Also, the fact that Post Malone owns it probably makes it more expensive.
Exactly.
Because it's got that lineage. Yeah. Exactly. So it'd be cool if like, I know like cryptocurrency isn't really like popular right now, but like if they had some NFT shit built in like, anyway, we're not going to go down that. I was just going to say like the contracts and like how, it can gain value through that is a cool concept to like attach that to a card.
Yeah.
But anyway, so trading card games. Do you play any other video games besides?
I play Smash.
Like new Smash?
New Smash. I could never get into Melee. The skill curve is like way too difficult.
Yeah.
I play here, I'll just go through them. I play Pokemon. I own every Pokemon game physical copy.
Really?
Yeah.
Even like the blue, red, like each separate one?
Hell yeah.
Damn. That's impressive.
And then I also have I also play Halo like a shit ton.
Infinite?
Infinite, yeah. I used to play ladders and Reach. I'd be like a free agent and I'd go and like play teams and stuff.
Oh, okay. Like on PC?
No, like Xbox.
Yeah. Well, what is ladder? Is it like it starts over?
Oh, ladders is like MLG. Like Major League Gaming.
Yeah, nice.
And so like when people would need fillers, there would be like a list of free agents and you could like hit someone up.
See, like this is the thing that I've talked about this before. I don't know about it on the podcast, but like I just was born in the wrong generation, like your generation or whatever. Just that many less, like 5 years separation. MLG and gaming as an actual sport was more of a real thing. And I was like a gamer. Like I was good at the first person shooters, but I never thought to myself like, I could actually pursue this. But that's dope that you were, competitive with that.
Oh yeah, I love Halo. Now I just play Infinite casually.
Infinite's aight.
Infinite's okay. They're getting better.
It was bad when it started because there wasn't enough maps.
Yeah, it was bad when it started. There were bugs too and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But over the course of the last couple of years, they've patched everything. They added Forge. Dude,
it's just never gonna be as good as the Bungie ones. Like you played Reach, which was the last Bungie.
It's my favorite Halo game too.
So like you got in when it was that like the final bit of it.
Yeah, and that was like peak multiplayer too. Was like Reach, because Halo 3 was like really famous for its
was sick.
Yeah, its
Halo
campaign
3 was, I think, my favorite.
Yeah, it's a controversial take for me to say that like Reach was like my favorite because a lot of people it's 3. But I think in terms of like multiplayer, because I played both. I played 3 ODST and Reach, and like. I think Reach had the best multiplayer experience, like in terms of just like normal matchmaking and stuff like that.
I agree. I did play a lot of Reach.
Yeah.
Some people, they're like Halo 2. I'm like, all right, bro.
Yeah, that's like
No, I mean, it is good.
Yeah, it's just like the hipster take of like
Yeah, like the real sauce was 2.
yeah, exactly. Like
Yeah.
shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? Like I don't know.
I don't know if we've talked about this either, but like I thought about this the other day in the car, how like sequels are either like the better version of the first game or it just goes downhill. There's really like this X curve where it's like the sequel can be like the shit and everything that was wrong with the first game they fixed, or it's just there was like a cash grab and they're like, it's just not as good as the first one.
It's like take like Call of Duty for example. It's like Black Ops 1 versus Black Ops 2. Black Ops 2. Did you play Black Ops 2?
Black Ops 2 was like running on walls and shit, right?
No. That was Advanced Warfare.
Oh, okay.
Black Ops 2 and Black Ops 3 was like that. Okay. But Black Ops 2 was like just classic COD.
Yeah.
But the multiplayer, that was like when Nuketown 2025 was a thing, and like what was the the map on a cruise ship? You know what I'm talking about? I love that map so much.
It's like that reminds me of like Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 on the cruise ship level. Sick.
But it's like that where like I feel like Black Ops 2 was so much better than Black Ops 1.
I played Black Ops 1. I don't know if I played Black Ops 2, but I also like the same thing on the Infinity Ward side.
Yeah.
There was like the people that loved Modern Warfare and were like, yeah, it's like the meta. And then Modern Warfare 2 came out and it had nukes. And like it's also perspective.
Yeah.
It's like where you were, what age you were when you played it.
Yeah.
Because for me, the nukes were like, that was so fun to try to get them.
Nukes,
like, that was like, dude, we just ended the game because I got a nuke. But other people were like, dude, this game's broken.
Yeah, I would always, like, when I played Modern Warfare 2, it was always trick shot lobbies on Rust. Like, that was where you would... Oh, okay. But like, the trick shots. But I was thinking of, like, the ones where it's literally you just shoot, like, an ever... respawning guy and just that's how you rank up really quick. Like the modded lobbies where you just try and like get max prestige.
Yeah, or there was one where they really fucking glitched it where it was like you just joined it and then you were just 10th prestige and you were just like, dude, my account's fucked.
And then you get banned like 3 days later.
You're like, dude, I didn't even know what I was getting myself into. I just got like a private invite from a guy.
That's how I was on like I play GTA too. I play a shit ton of games, but my GTA account got modded just from like some dude in a lobby, and like I'm like rank 200 in like GTA, you know, like just like ridiculous,
like max rank. Or whatever. Just like okay, like
you get like $1 billion in the game, and it's like it takes the fun out of it.
GTA with cheats is not fun. It's fun for like 20 minutes, and they're like, all right, well, I like bazookaed 20 cars and now it's like desensitized. Nothing in the game is fun now.
I'm an MMO player too, so like I enjoy like the grind.
Did you do the Elden Ring? I wanted to buy it the other day.
Elden Ring is a game that I feel like I would snap my computer in half if I played.
Yeah, I have all these aspirations of playing these games. I'm like, when the fuck am I going to have time to do that?
Yeah, I've been trying to... I don't know if Care ever talked about it, but he is... he's going to hate that I say this. He is like addicted to Apex Legends.
Oh, yeah.
And I give him shit. I give him shit for it all the time, though, because he'll like sit in Discord lobbies and like clip his mic screaming at the computer. And I've been trying to convince him to get Elden Ring.
Oh, yeah.
Because of that, I think it'd be so funny. I think it'd be so funny.
Just to stream that.
Yes.
Yelling.
God, it'd be so... You know, he's like the... It's like the... you ever watch like Rage Tages on YouTube? It's like that. It's just like entertaining.
It is. And people are like breaking headphones and shit. And you're just like, I get it. I haven't had that nerd rage in a long time.
I haven't
seen
either.
it with my own 2 eyes, Jerry.
Yeah, where we used to just like go to my basement, fucking game. I was like the guy where if we were going to my basement, like we were gonna game, and I don't even know what would we play that I would get enraged at. Like
a lot of things.
There was the hardest game which we never beat was this game Trials. which is like those like
Is that BMX?
2D like side scrolling games where you're like on a BMX bike and you're like going up stuff like crazy obstacles. There was a mini game in it where you're just like a metal ball and you have to roll through this course.
Okay.
And like it had like these weird physics. It was so fucking hard. And like I love games that are hard. Like Super Meat Boy, Enter the Gungeon, like games where it's like all or nothing. If you die, you
lose everything.
Yeah, you're fucked. You have to restart.
Yeah.
But we just never could beat this game.
Damn.
One day we'll have to get my Xbox 360 out, reboot it, and try it again.
That'd be so interesting.
Yeah.
Dude, have you ever played Monkey Ball?
It's kind of like Monkey Ball, honestly.
Yeah.
Same concept. Like you roll around and it's just obstacles.
Yeah, and it's like the gravity physics are like ice, like where you just kind of like glide.
Or it like has like spin. So like once the ball starts spinning, you're like, oh shit. Like
you're like, shit, I can't. I gotta have like 3 seconds to stop.
This ball like was not symmetrical in its spin. Like it had
was
like a
oblong.
wobble. Like you know how the planet, like how Earth has like a wobble.
Yeah, it's like a little. It's kind of like an egg shape almost. Not really,
like it's just
but
like kind of like doing that. I was dude. They did. I don't know if the game, those games where it's like the physics are kind of broken. Have you heard of Only Up?
Of course, and Jump King.
Oh, I've never heard of that,
dude. Okay, Jump King's infinitely worse.
Oh, okay.
I know Only Up is like popping right now.
Yeah.
But like Jump King is like, you know how Only Up like you fall and it like you reset or you can like fall
might
on something?
fall in a good spot. Yeah.
Yeah. Jump King is just like you fall and you're done. Like you're all the way at the beginning, and it's infinitely longer than Only Up.
Really?
Because Only Up has all the shortcuts. Jump King has no shortcuts. So it's like all the way. Do you ever watch Ludwig?
Mm-mm.
You know, he's a Twitch streamer.
Okay.
Or I guess YouTube. But he speedruns Jump King like occasionally, and I will sit like this staring at.
Yeah, you're just like, dude, what, dude? Okay, there's this game, and we're just like, this is like a gaming podcast.
Yeah, I'm cool with this. Honestly, I love talking about video games.
There's this game called Sekiro: Heroes Die Twice or something. It's like it's basically. That might not be the exact name, but basically it's Dark Souls, but like you're a samurai and you fight like all these.
Sekiro.
Sekiro?
Yeah.
Dude, you ever watch Games Done Quick?
No.
Dude, you would love it. It's like they do it every I think they do it in the winter and summer, but it's all for charity. Like people donate and it's for like cancer, whatever. And dude, the people that they have do speedrun these games, like speedrunners are literally computers.
That's crazy.
They're insane. There's like all these different rankings too. There's like 100% completion runs, like glitched runs where you like exploit. Then there's runs where you just
it'll be like glitchless, where it's just like,
you just beat the game, but you don't get all the stars or whatever like secret stuff. But I watched this guy beat this Dark Souls games blindfolded. Like he memorized every single move, like all the menus, like killing. Like, and Dark Souls is not easy. Like it's a hard game.
No,
and he's literally just like dodging, doing stuff, and then the commentators are like, okay, this next part, like if he can just sequence these two parts together, like, and he got it, and you're just like, what the fuck, dude? It is. I think that was the most impressive thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah, and plus Sekiro, it was Sekiro, right?
Yeah,
dude, Sekiro was the first Souls game to have parrying.
Oh, so you can like
you can actually like if you time it right, you can parry like against the opponent's moves and punish them. And like I can only imagine like getting perfect parrying down to a T where you don't even have to see it,
dude.
To like
it's like imagine if you just like got a little bit lost in the menu and you're like, oh shit, where am I in the menu?
Yeah, like, exactly.
Am I about to push quit or like what am I think it's just like all like sound based. You're just like, okay. And you just know the map in your head. It's just so insane.
Yeah.
Like, anyway, we got real nerdy.
Yeah. it is what it is.
I love it. I like always have this thing. Because a lot of my music, and I feel like this is where we got onto this. I love those like 8-bit sounds. I love like video game samples and hearing the like, oh, like that's the Super Smash baseball hit sound or something.
Yeah.
Like, oh, cool. Like
something me and Jordy talk about all the time. You know Jordy, right?
I don't really know Jordy, but I've met him.
Okay,
a long
got
time
you.
ago.
So Jordy, longtime friend of mine. Something me and him talk about a lot, for whatever reason, is the Sonic soundtracks.
Oh, dude, that got brought up on a different podcast where just like sampling the Sonic games.
Dude, Sonic 2005, horrible game. Do not play the game. I mean, play the game, but accept its flaws. It is super glitchy.
Wait, which one?
Sonic the Hedgehog 2005. It's just called Sonic the Hedgehog.
Okay.
But it's like graphically a horrible game. Like whatever. Gameplay's kind of fun, but you'll like fall through walls and shit. The opening song to that, please go look it up. It's the intro song to 2005. Is beautiful. It is one of the prettiest video game songs I've ever heard in my entire life. And like it's just like for a game that got like, I think it got like a 1 out of 10 for like, the game review websites and whatever.
Yeah.
It has some of the most beautiful songs on it that
That's so random.
Yeah, exactly.
Sonic, so there was a Sonic game, Sonic Battle 2 for GameCube.
Yeah.
Fire. So good.
I've heard of it, never played it.
If you ever get the chance, like the story mode's great, the Chow Garden's great. There's like all kinds of stuff. But then they made another game like after that called Shadow the Hedgehog, and they just put
I love that.
They just put guns in it.
Yes.
They were just like, fuck it. Like
you could just light up people with AK-47s, and he would cuss when he died.
I think it was rated. I don't know.
It was T.
It was T.
It was T.
Yeah. We didn't go full M. There wasn't like blood.
No.
But like, I just love how they were like, okay, like we got something going here. What if we just add guns?
Yeah. What if the main villain is a demon alien that has had no reference in any of the Sonic lore?
The literally first scene, dude. I don't think I actually ever bought that game, but it's just so funny to me, like that this is like a superhero hedgehog.
Yeah.
Has like the ability to run super fast and whatever, but they're just like guns.
Yeah. I've played it on Dolphin.
Yeah. Emulator.
Yeah.
I got Dolphin.
Oh, Dolphin's so sick.
Dude, you got to talk to my brother. He's got a crazy emulator library and just.
That's awesome. That's so sick.
Yeah. We'll nerd out. I actually had to he gave me his whole fucking emulation library. It was like 200 gigs, and I was like, I need this, but I can't have this on my computer right now because it's too much storage.
It's too much. Yeah.
These videos are huge.
You got to get like a dedicated hard drive just for like the ROMs.
Dude. We're just gonna talk video games
for
like another sec.
Yo.
My brother, you gotta meet him. He's such a nerd, but he bought this thing so you can plug your Game Boy Color games into it and get the save file off of them, so you can play your save file in the emulation. Because he had all 151 Pokemon.
That's so sick.
Level 100. He was like, I need this save file. But the thing that's crazy is that those cartridges have a battery in them, so they will die eventually. So like if you didn't get it off them, like all of the Game Boy games will eventually stop working.
Yeah.
Which is a sad day. But anyway, so all right. We'll put a pin in that. We'll go into
Nerd shit is over.
Yeah, nerd segment of the pod. It will probably come back. Let's do another twosoft track.
Sick.
And yeah,
let's do. You mind if I preface this one real quick?
Yeah, no.
So the other twosoft track that I sent is called Eidolon, and it actually, I don't know when this episode is coming out, but
it'll be a little bit.
Yeah, it'll. The song is coming out or has came out already. It's coming out on August 11th. So this week.
Oh yeah, it won't.
Yeah, I figured.
Yeah.
So the song is out. Please go check it out. It's called Eidolon, by me and my friend Ben 10, who's an indie artist.
Also a show.
Yes, yeah. But I hope you guys enjoy.
Hell yeah.
So we don't have one called that in here. We got Letters Finished, Pacifist,
Yes,
Sirens
that is
Blue,
the Letters Finished is Eidolon. I
AKA
apologize.
Eidolon.
Sorry, it's that's the
And if you want to hear the music in this episode and what we have to say about it, join the Poducer Discord through the link below.
dude. Yeah, my current influences. I'll go through them real quick just because it kind of makes sense. Flume, Igloo Ghost, underscores. I really fuck with underscores, and I don't know. I've just a lot of like electronic or like hyperpop artists that like fuck around. You know what I mean? Like they do a lot of different like weird stuff. You know?
Yeah, that's just what I was about to ask. So with hyperpop, I mean, I heard Dylan Brady in there with a little.
Yeah.
And then I'm curious, do you listen to that like glitch hop stuff, like
Oh, yeah.
Youngster Jack, David Shoddy, like all that sort of stuff?
Yeah, I love that kind of shit, especially like I know it's not glitch hop, but like Dylan Brady, like all of his like the stuff he's produced for Cali Cartier and like I mean he's produced for shit, he did a song for someone recently, but like him as a producer outside of 100 Gex, you know, I love 100 Gex too, but I'm just saying separately, fantastic producer. Definitely like go look at his credits because like he has some crazy shit. But I do Gex. I am a big fan of 100 Gex. So
Ryan is probably more knowledgeable on the hyperpop spectrum of music than I am.
yeah,
So he probably,
I hyperpop especially since like 2020, like COVID era. I've been listening to almost exclusively hyperpop.
Agreed, dude. That and like emo rap. Like
Yeah.
post-hardcore inspired emo rap. I got
Yeah.
huge into Lil Peep, and then that kind of opened the door to all this other stuff. Guys like
Yeah.
Dollywood One, that kind of merged.
Dollywood One is so sick.
So sick.
So sick.
So sick. Yeah.
Dude, especially have you gotten into Daria Core at all? Either?
No, you gotta get
Oh
us up
my
on this.
God.
We gotta hear the story.
Okay, so Jane Remover, who is a hyperpop artist,
I've heard of that name.
Yes, she's a fantastic hyperpop artist. Kind of take underscores and mix her music with like a lot of like the craziness and more experimental side of 100 Gex. Infuse the two, and that's kind of like Jane Remover's music. But she has an alt on SoundCloud called Leroy, and basically created a genre called Dariacore. And it's like fucking like she takes like crazy. The reason why it has to be on SoundCloud is she takes like crazy ass samples of like popular songs and speeds them up. The songs are like 200 BPM, and it's just like maximalist. Like happy hardcore mixed with like every other electronic music genre. So it's like it's really cool. It's a lot. Like it tires your ears very easily. It's like it's cool, it's funny, it's like
It's abrasive.
it's abrasive but in a good way. You know?
So does it sample Daria?
No, but all of the cover photos are photos from Daria.
It's kind of like going back to lo-fi, how like everything's like The Simpsons.
Yeah,
or something.
exactly. Yeah, it's that aesthetic, but for that genre of music.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. And then also, I feel like this isn't. I feel like if you get into those genres that you were just talking about, like also the funk train is very adjacent, but then you also get into like. I love like that Suicide Boys sound, like Puya and
my brother
Shakewell, Fat Nick, stuff like that.
I was super into in high school. I was super like late high school. I was super into Suicide Boys and like Shakewell and Fat Nick and like all those guys. And then I kind of got away from it more. So when I started to more focus on the like, because that was around the time where I was like changing to electronic music, so I wanted to like only listen to electronic music. So I kind of like, you know, I listen to like rap now, but like for like a span of like a year and a half I only listen to electronic music. So I stopped listening to Suicide Boys. My brother is the biggest, shout out Keegan, is the biggest Suicide Boys fan ever.
Dude, they're sick.
Yeah, and their aesthetic's cool. Like especially like the FTP brand and like all that stuff. I don't know if they own it or if they're just like heavily tied to it, but that clothing brand is really cool too. They come out with a lot of really cool like streetwear stuff.
I just love like the beats. I always hear them. Like I made a Suicide Boys style beat the other day.
Yeah.
It took like 30 minutes. I just had like, you just got to get that snare, that like funk snare, whatever. It's a specific snare.
I know exactly
what you're talking
about.
Yeah. But like those beats are so quantized and so just like, but they just go. They're so good. Yeah.
Yeah. It's almost because all the beats are not the same, but they're made very similarly. Almost to the point like kind of like how Plug is. Where it's just kind of like it's the same 808.
What's Plug?
Plug
Is that a genre?
Yeah, Plug is like what Yeet is, and like.
You're
not up on it, Jerry.
I'm a boomer.
Come
You're not
on,
up.
Jerry.
This guy wears a turban all the time.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it's Plug is like what Yeet's music. He's like the most popular Plug artist right now.
Just Yeet.
Yeet. Yeah,
That's so funny. Have you seen that Timothy Chalamet and I forget what fucking the guy from SNL, they just go and they're like, this is the new song called Yeet, and they're just like,
yeah,
saying
I've seen that. Yeah, I've seen.
That's like what I'm picturing. This is.
No,
am I pretty far off?
He's just this dude. He's very all of his music. I am not a fan of his music. I think his production goes crazy.
Yeah.
Or like, have you ever listened to Joey?
Joey,
Bro.
Just Joey.
Like the Shadow Wizard Money Gang, like all that shit. No,
Dude,
okay.
Ryan, put me on.
Dude, so Joey, all of his shit, it sounds like the bottom of a really muddy lean cup.
Yes.
Like if you just put the
Yeah.
mic up to it and it's like all of this like this drawl and these deep like I just hit a score in my underpants. Yeah.
Like Night Lavelle, like type, or like
if he was on Downers.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
like Yeet, and it basically I don't want to generalize it because I feel like, I don't want to disrespect the genre because these are just two people that are popular right now, and I'm not a huge fan. I listen to Joey sometimes, but all of their majority of the artists are heavily leaned out when they record their music.
Yeah.
So like you can hear it too.
Yeah,
like the
it's
pronunciation's
like
not really
slurring.
Like, have you listened to like Lucky's music recently?
No.
He's a Chicago rapper.
Okay.
He doesn't make he's starting to make Plug music, but like very just like slurred words and like.
So Plug music is like leaned out music.
It's like leaned out trap music, but the 808s don't have kicks layered on top of them. Does that make sense?
Oh, interesting.
So it's like soft 808s that hit hard because they're like boosted in the mix with like trap snares, very like chill synthy melodies, typical trap hi-hat pattern, like that kind of thing.
We just got to shout out like Chopped and Screwed though, because that's like
Yeah.
the original leaned out music.
Yeah. I've been messing around on threescore with like Plug stuff. So we'll kind of, I'm trying to think if that song is like considered Plug or not that I sent. I don't think it is, but yeah, it's an interesting genre. The production is really good.
Maybe we'll go into that song. And then I got another question for you too. Another rabbit hole to go down.
What's up?
Which song? Well, we'll get to it.
Okay.
But which was the song that you were talking about referencing?
It's not shit.
Or we don't have it?
No, we do. I just
Okay.
forget the name of it because I posted it like 4 days ago. I think it's Woo. Yeah. It's Woo. WHEW.
And if you want to hear the music in this episode and what we have to say about it, join the Poducer Discord through the link below.
So
Let's go.
very Plug influenced. Like I think the only thing that doesn't make it Plug is the tempo change and the kick. But
Word. Okay. Getting an education here today.
yeah.
I wanted to talk about Recluse.
Yes.
Let's get into it.
Yeah, so
how did that happen?
So Recluse Population is basically it's a collective that me and 3 of my other friends started. They live all over the U.S. It's an artist that now goes by Windowed and Bad Friend, but he previously went by Menlo. He was a lo-fi kind of turned more jazz and all that producer. Yesfo, who is another kind of more used to do lo-fi, now kind of does all different kinds of stuff hip hop wise. And then Clover, who jumps around. I wouldn't tie her to one specific genre. But basically there was some Discord discourse, some beef with someone that I used to be friends with, and so I left the server. And with leaving the server, I kind of like lost access to all of my friends, like all my internet friends. So I created a little group chat with those three. And we hung out for like 2 months. And while we were playing Phasmophobia,
oh yeah, I know the game.
I've
never downloaded it, but dude, I've heard it's fun.
Sick game. But while we were playing it, I was like, why don't we just like, why have we never made a collective? Like, we all make music with each other, like whatever. Why don't we give it like a home? And so we created Recluse Population. Part of the reason behind the name is like recluse means like to keep to yourself kind of, and it was partially because it's created during COVID, and then also I'm not an introvert, but a lot of my friends are, and I felt like it correctly kind of represented the personalities of the people involved. And then after we started posting on there, some of the stuff got some traction, and I slowly kind of those three didn't really want to be heavily involved in like scheduling and like doing all that shit. So I kind of more took the leadership role of Recluse, and added people like Sean Tango. Yeah,
Tango. That was the first time we talked about Recluse.
Yeah, Care, Michi, Dink the Poof, all sorts of. I mean, I think we have like 22 members, but it's slowly added to like the roster that we have now, and it's just like, it's not a label, it's just like, think of it like a group posting page. Yeah, that's what it is.
Is there a specific sound?
Nope. And that was on purpose. I didn't want us to be tied down to a specific sound or like have anxiety about trying to make something that fits the page and whatever. I just wanted to have something that represented all of my friends as a community, so where people can go to one place and listen to all of our music. And I didn't want to take the individuality out of my friends that are like a part of this project that we made together. So I purposely, the sound is the people involved. Yeah. You know, I didn't want to make it something that it's not. You know?
Are there goals and aspirations with it, or it's just kind of a place to put music?
The goal that we had, or at least that I had, was Recluse kind of serves as if one person profits, everybody profits. It's like, it's the saying, everybody eats. It's like I wanted to give somebody, or I wanted to give all of us a way to like, if one of us blows up, everybody else doesn't just get left in the dust. We get carried with, you know? Yeah. Because that's the way it should be, you know? We're all friends, we care about each other, and nothing hurts worse than like when somebody you've been making music with for a while is like, you know, gets crazy numbers, and you're like, damn, what the fuck? I've been making music with this person for whatever, and now they're not.
We've been like feeding off each other's energy.
Yeah, exactly. So like, why am I not? So it's more so that, you know, it's like, I want everyone to prosper together and not separately, and that's kind of the purpose behind Recluse.
Gotcha.
Cool. So, yeah, I just wanted to give everybody a space to create. Or like a place where like if they want to upload something that they wouldn't normally put on their main account, it's also a good place for that too.
It's like a group alt account. Basically.
Yeah, kind of. It's, you know, also a place for like if we do collabs, it's a great place to put it because everyone's already centralized into that one thing.
Does any of the stuff get onto Spotify?
Yeah, so we started the way it works is I basically monetize the SoundCloud. It's localized to SoundCloud exclusively. So if you want to look it up on SoundCloud. But I monetize the SoundCloud, and all of the money made goes directly into paying for the SoundCloud page for the subscription. So we have unlimited, all that stuff, the benefits of it.
Yeah.
And any extra will go to whoever that it profited off of, but I don't keep any money whatsoever.
Yeah.
It doesn't make that much. It makes like $5 a month. You know what I mean?
But
It's
you
like,
can distribute from SoundCloud to Spotify,
yes.
right?
So the way I do it is I don't want to make a Spotify page for Recluse because that makes it more of an official thing.
Yeah.
So the rule I always had is like, if you want to distribute it, go right ahead. And you can keep all of the money for it, keep all that. It's just for the one SoundCloud thing, it's going to be on Recluse. And that's like...
Okay, so each individual would kind of do that on their own, or...
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, let's say you posted a song on Recluse, right? We would have that song on Recluse and be monetizing it and whatever to grow the page. Yeah. And then if you wanted to put it on Spotify or whatever, you would just you would upload all that yourself.
Okay.
So
yeah, gotcha.
It has a common home on SoundCloud with Recluse.
Gotcha. Okay.
So.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool, man. Well, I think we run the other track, and then I don't know if there's anything else you specifically wanted to talk about. Any I don't know, any topics you brought in?
No, yeah, I want to give a shout out to all the Chicago people.
Yeah, and we can do shout outs at the end. Yeah, no,
Sick.
I was just
All right.
curious if you were like, I really wanted to talk about this.
Shit.
No.
Yeah, no. Yeah, Run Up Eidolon.
Yeah.
It'll be out on all streaming platforms. I'd prefer Spotify because I'm trying to grow that. I'm trying to grow that shit right now. But no, I think I'm all good. I really wanted to just come in and talk. I didn't really care what we talked about. So
Yeah, hell yeah. No, that's how it always is. I was just curious.
So this is Sirens. This is on SoundCloud on threescore.
And if you want to hear the music in this episode and what we have to say about it, join the Poducer Discord through the link below. That was cool, man.
Thank you.
Definitely
Thank you.
bouncy for sure.
Yeah.
Now I get it. Pelpa, Vince, definitely can hear it.
Yeah.
Does it come from the swing, or is it
it's the heavy rhythm of it is the driving is like what makes it bounce, and like the future bass influence, and like but more it's like taking future bass and like instead of making it like 75% electronic and 25% hip hop, it's like a 50-50 split. So
yeah, I mean, I could just hear with like the kick patterns, it's like some of them aren't like perfectly on, so it kind of makes you like stutter a little bit.
I make my music with the grid turned off.
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah, in like the grid lock and everything. So like, or at least threescore stuff, not twosoft. I need that quantization. But yeah, the threescore stuff, I turn it off because it's like, I don't know. It's supposed to be swung, so it's like, I feel like if the lines are on, I'm gonna like want to put it next to the line.
Yeah.
So
that makes sense. And do you still use FL or? Okay.
I still use FL.
Hell yeah.
I get a lot of heat for that, but
no heat.
No
heat needed.
Exactly. I use FL for production, and then for recording I use Pro Tools.
Okay.
So
gotcha.
And that's just a college thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does it sound better?
Pro Tools?
People say
it doesn't sound, dude. It doesn't sound better. It's the quality comes from the microphone, so I don't understand that debate. The reason I use Pro Tools, honestly, is because recording in Pro Tools is like one click of a button, and it's like instant, And comping is easier in Pro Tools.
Yeah. The new Ableton, I mean, it's not new. I just still have 10 like a fool, but you can do like record on a loop, and it'll just keep making like more.
It'll stack them.
It'll stack them, yeah. And you can then comp and just choose what you like, which that's huge.
Yeah,
it's really nice.
I wish FL's record. That's my one complaint about FL. My thing like with FL is I can do like everything that I could want, like Ableton or Pro Tools, NFL. The only thing is the recording. The recording fucking sucks in FL.
Yeah.
And that's like the one. But you know, I'm not a vocalist, so it's like,
Yeah.
doesn't really matter. You know.
What's like some goals for, you know, the twosoft and threescore project? Are you trying to play shows? Are you trying to just get your numbers up?
My thing with music is I've never really had an end goal. You get what I'm saying? Like, you know, I'm a senior in college right now. I'm going to school for live audio. Career wise, that's my plan. You know, I entirely plan on just like working live audio for like the rest of my life, whether it's TV or whatever. Music to me has always been like a passion and a hobby. If it turns into a career and it's like you know, I start making money off of it, that's fantastic, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm going to do all the necessary promotional shit and all that. 'Cause it's like, you know, if it ends up happening, that's awesome. But like, I'm not like set. I need to blow up. I need to do, you know, I really enjoy playing shows and I'd love to play more shows.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've just kind of never really had like a I need to be here by this time and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of why I went, instead of going to school for like production, I just went for live audio, because it's like I'll have a guaranteed way to like have a salary job and like, you know. But yeah, the way I look at music is it's kind of like I'm passionate about it, and if you know, I become a top artist or whatever, sick. You know?
Yeah. I feel like that can work in a weird way. Like everyone's path is different, and you hear the people where it's like, bro, if you're not backed up against a wall and like only doing music, then it's not gonna work out.
Yeah.
But I don't think that that's true for I feel like it is important to dedicate yourself to it.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I really believe in that whole like you have to exclusively be doing it. Some people just work differently. Maybe for some people that you have to do it that way.
Yeah. I think that pressure slowly over time, if you put that pressure on yourself, can destroy you as an artist.
Like the fun of it.
It can destroy the fun of it and the creativity of it, because you get imposter syndrome. You don't want to make shit because it doesn't sound like your music, but at the end of the day, it's your fucking music, you know? And like, I don't know. I feel like it's an unhealthy mindset to have as an artist, to be like, I need to fucking blow up. If I don't blow up, I'm going to dedicate everything to this. You don't have to do that, you know? Like, you can have multiple goals, and like, if one day, I think it's always good to have a backup plan. You know, I don't think that like it's good for artists to put that pressure on themselves at all. I think a lot of times when you hear about like artists quitting and stuff, it's because they put that pressure on themselves.
They got burnt out. Yeah, I feel like for some people, I feel like it's just that they do it and it's like intrinsic to who they are.
Yeah.
And that's like all they do, and that's why they made it. But yeah, I don't know. I feel a little bit like leery about advice for musicians, because you hear about all this stuff that you have to do.
Yeah.
But like that might not, like getting into the mindset of like other people's advice might just not work for you. It might work for a lot of people, but you know, you might not want to conform to that mold. I
will say, like, don't listen to, my whole thing is like, I feel like, you know, because I was self-taught entirely, I never took a music lesson, and I was taught from YouTube videos. And a lot of times when you're starting as an artist, you take all of the, like, what people say in YouTube videos as gospel, and you follow it religiously. Don't listen, unless it's like technical shit, don't listen to advice that artists give, because they know what works for them as a person, but they don't know what works for you as a person.
Yeah. Like,
you know, I'm sitting here spouting my opinions and whatever. I don't know jack shit about who you are and like how you work as an artist and whatever. You know, you take what I say and what everybody else says with a gigantic grain of salt, because I'm not you and everybody else is not you. So like, do what you think works best for you and not what other people think works best for you.
Yeah. And there might be like certain things that generally like this is how people do it.
Yeah.
Or like if you're at a certain point where like maybe you need management or like maybe like that would be a good step for you. But I mean, it's just I get a little bit turned off to these like self-help. This is what you got to do. You got to be super on your social media. Like you do, but at the same time you could find a back door. That's
exactly.
Who knows?
Yeah.
You could be thinking, "Oh, I have to do these things," and not realizing this other path that's like the cheat code, you know?
Yeah.
You don't know. I mean, I don't know.
There is no cheat code, you know? It's like my thing is like a lot of times like when people blow up and whatever, it's because they played like a 75-person show and one of those people happened to be like an A&R.
Exactly.
Like, it's fucking random, you know? Like you can do as much as you possibly can to try and help with those chances, but at the end of the day, it's going to happen because it just randomly happened. And it's like 50% luck based, you know?
Yeah.
So as long as you just keep doing it, I mean, like eventually it's probably going to happen.
I totally agree with that. I have this whole philosophy about like creating randomness for yourself and like potentially having that guy in the crowd that's going to be like, "Yo, like I saw your set and like I want to help you out or something." Like, so, you know, so yeah, I don't know. Just something to think about. I feel like on this show, we do a lot of like advice, and I don't even know the demographic of people that necessarily listen to this. I would assume, you know, a lot of producers are younger, some are older. But I just never want to come off as like, these are the things that you have to do. You know, it's just like, do whatever you fucking want.
Exactly. You know? Yeah. As long as you have that disclaimer of like, you know, what everyone else says as an artist doesn't really matter. It's like you can give advice and say whatever, you know what I mean? That's on the people watching to take what you say
right
however they want to take it. So you know, if they want to take it as gospel, that's on them. That's their problem. You know?
Exactly.
So
cool, man. Well, let's do the wrap-up question.
Sick.
Which is concerts you've seen, which was the most impactful? Like the like, what did I just watch?
I mean, definitely like Flume. I went and saw Flume 2 years ago, and that was like crazy.
Yeah.
I saw him at the Aragon, so like all floor. Dude, I was pushing people to get to the front. Like I own all of his albums on vinyl. Like I'm a super fan.
Yeah.
And seeing him live was insane. His setup is like it's like 3 tables in a U shape, and like on one table is like a mixer. One table is a Mac with Ableton and a Ableton Push. And on the other table is like a Moog and a Korg. So like and he's like switching between all of them, and like it was crazy. And the whole back wall was a giant LED screen for like visuals and stuff.
Nice.
So it was definitely the most impactful to me because I'd been listening to him for years.
Yeah.
Before I got that opportunity.
Do you like his I forget what they're called, but it's like all the tracks he had like on his desktop, and he's like, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, the 2 albums that he dropped where it's like all of the icons for the album photos.
Yeah, and it's not like throwaway tracks, but just like tracks that he's not going to put on like a feature album, like a real album.
I think when you take it with the sentiment that it is just like old songs that he decided to finish to just put out to not sit on them. Yeah. Then it's a pretty decent album. But like if you look at it from like this is a solid project that like then it's you know, I would give it, you know, like as a Flume fan like a 5 out of 10. If you were looking at it like that. There's like you know, each album is like 18 songs. And I think there's like 2 or 3 from each album
that's how I felt. I would like listen to it because it would come out and I'd be like, I don't know about this. There's a level of Flume that's just like God tier, and then this is you know, but again, like as an artist, you can do whatever you want. Like if you just want to release those because you want to put them out there and you don't think that they're like the most serious tracks, then yeah, go for it. I also heard someone saying that like some of those were made when he was traveling, so it's like,
yeah,
you know,
it was from his tour laptop.
Yeah,
so it was like all the stuff that he made like while he was like going to different places during like the Hi This Is Flume era and like the Skins era.
But like that mixtape, Hi This Is Flume, is fire,
bro. It's
you know
so
what
good.
I mean?
Yeah, it's like one of the albums that made me want to do experimental like music.
I think after that one came out, everyone was trying to like do that. I remember being on SoundCloud after that and like I was like, oh yeah, this is Hi This Is Flume. Spring
and Mud are like two of my favorite tracks from that album. And I don't know how the fuck to pronounce it. Ecdysis or Ecdysis or some.
Yeah. I know which one you're talking about. That one's hard.
That one's crazy too. But favorite tracks from the new album: Get You and Palaces.
Okay. Yeah.
So
I'm going to see Flume at North Coast.
Let's go.
Yeah. That'll be cool. And it's a headliner set, which I'm excited about. You know how like the headliner set's a little bit more hype.
Is Porter Robinson playing North Coast as well?
I'm not sure. I'm just going on Sunday.
Okay. Yeah, Porter Robinson is another artist that I'd pay like $600 to go see live.
Yeah. I saw Porter at his World's Tour at the Aragon, and that was pretty cool too.
I have yet to see Porter Robinson live.
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah,
You'll enjoy it. Yeah. Cool, man. Well, any shout outs?
Shout outs. The entire Big Chillin' Discord. They are the people that have like driven me to be an artist and like have stood by me through all of COVID, all that shit. They've been my friends for a long time. Ben 10, he's my best friend. We make music together all the time. He's also my old college roommate. He's an amazing indie artist. Please go check him out. He grinds on TikTok every day to try and push his shit, and he is long overdue to blow up. Care, Michi, Damo, Sean, Tango, all those people, the entire Chicago squad, S-Rock, those people are the people that snuck me into bars when I was 16 years old to be able to play shows. Like they were some of the people that like made me want to move here in the first place. So shout out to them as well. You know, my family, my parents, my brother, my girlfriend, all those people. So
yeah, let's go. Everyone. That's the safe bet. Just like, everyone, I love you.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want to miss anyone and have them mad at me.
Nah, you're good. That's how it's almost better when they're like, dude, what the fuck? And you're like, bro, no, I was saving it. I didn't want to mention you. No. All right, guys. Well, good shit. I hope you enjoyed the episode. Thank you again for coming, man.
Of course. Yeah.
Go check out twosoft, threescore, and recluse population. I was like, what is it again? All right. Later, guys.
Thank you.
Peace.